Okay, suppose the supply function for product X is given by a negative 30 plus 2px minus 4pz. How much of x is produced when px equals 600 and pz equals 60? So as I said before we even start answering this question, here quantity supplied of good X is dependent on two variables, the price of good X and the price of good Z. Since we have a positive sign here, it means if the price of good X goes up, producers and suppliers of good X will supply more. Price of good X goes down, they'll supply less. Okay. That's if we hold PZ constant. If we're just focusing on the relationship of quantity supplied and the price of good X, holding PZ constant. And if we hold PX constant and we look at the relationship between PZ and the quantity supplied of good X, we can see a minus sign here. So it means if the price of good Z goes up, quantity supplied of good X is going to go down. Okay, meaning people are going to start producing with Z. So they can make more profit. The price of good Z goes down, people stop producing or supplying good Z, excuse me, and start supplying good X. So quantity supplied of good X goes up. Right. Excuse me. Yes. So in this question, how much of product X is produced when PX equals 600 and PZ equals 60? So it's just a matter of substitution. Okay, but A here, you're going to say Q equals negative 30 plus 2 px is 600 minus 4 pz is 60. All right, so negative 30 plus 2 times 6, that's 1200. Negative 4 times 6, that's minus 240. Okay, and then I'm going to say negative 30 plus 1200 minus 240. That's 930 units of this good will be supplied. 930 units. In part B, how much of product X is produced? Hello. Mhm. Okay, so here Q, how much of products X is produced when PX equals 80 and PZ equals 60? So negative 30 plus 2. So here, 8, we put 80 there. minus 460. So I'm going to say negative 30. 2 times 80, that is 160 minus 240. Okay, so negative 30 plus 160, that is 130. 130 minus 240, that's negative 110, I think. Yeah. Yes, negative 110. So we can see the law of supply in action. The law of supply says it means there is no supply here. When the price of good X is $80, no supplier is going to be willing to supply. Okay, the price is too little for them. They may not make profit out of it, so no one wants to supply. And as I said, we can see the law of supply taking place here. We said there's a positive relationship between the price of a good and the quantity supplied, holding other variables constant. So here we can see PZ is held constant. It just stays as the same amount, 60, 60. When the price dropped from 600 to 8, we also see quantity supplied also dropped. Yes. So that's the law of supply there. Then part C, suppose PZ equals 60, determine the supply function and the inverse supply function for good X. Graph the inverse supply function. So the supply function, we studied supply functions, part C here, they've told us PZ equals 60, so we have Q equals negative 30 plus 2px minus 4 times 60. Since pz equals 60. Okay, so our supply function is going to become negative 30. Oh, yeah, negative 30 plus 2px minus 240. Like terms together, negative 30 minus 240, that's negative 270 plus 2px. That is our supply function. Then the inverse supply function. What it means when they say inverse supply function, just means you have to make P the subject of the formula. Okay, you make P subject of the formula. So for the inverse, okay, so to make P the subject of the formula, this negative 270, we take it over the equal sign. So we have QS plus 270 equals 2P x. And to make px equal the formula, you divide both sides by 2. So you're going to get px equals qs divided by 2 plus 270 divided by 2. Okay. Notice this QS plus 270 over 2 can be broken down like this. Okay. Then here, there is a 1. Think of it as there's a 1 here. So if you divide 1 by 2, you get 0.5. So you get 0.5 QS plus 270 divided by 2, get 140. So this is the inverse supply function. Okay, Px. That's the inverse supply function. If you want, you can still leave it 270 divided by 2, that is 135. Yes, so this is the inverse supply function. Right. Yes. If wanted, would have left it like this: QS over 2 plus 270 over 2. There is no problem with it like that. But I just wanted to leave it in a simple way. So when it comes to graphing, because I've got another class coming up. So when it comes to graphing, you just start substituting. If QS equals 0, find the value of PX. You just pick values of QS. Okay. Just for a small illustration. Here we have PX here, and you have QS. Okay, and so if QS equals 0, PX equals 135. If QX equals 10, you just do it like that. If QS equals 10, you just substitute 10 into this function. 10 times 0.5, that is 5. 5 plus 135, that is 140. It's just like that. And then you'll be able to graph. Okay. If QS equals 20, just say, okay, QS equals 20. 20 times 0.5, that is 10. 0.5 times 20, that is 10. 10 plus 135, 145. And you can graph. Okay. You're just finding values of QS. Okay.